What is communication? From one perspective, communication is a way to express, to share, to get across what is in my mind and what is in my heart. Communication is a method by which I can share and express my own experience, my own experiences, my own aspirations, my desires, my confusions, my inside journey, including the outside journey, my fears, my both the plus and minus of life. How? Through words, through actions. Because intentions are not enough in the field of communication. The intentions somehow has to be communicated to the other person, which means the other person has to understand my intention. Sometimes something is tough. Sometimes something is agreed and accepted. But the intention behind everything is very important. And the intention behind everything has to be understood by the other side. I have expressed myself how? Let's say words. Were the words understood by the other person? Were the words appropriate for the other person to understand your intention? Did the other person understand where you're coming from? How would you know that? The other person can nod or disagree. You can read the body language. There may be a response or lack thereof, and it can result in even more frustration that I am not been heard or I have not been understood. Or sometime just because there was no response back, you assume that, oh, I expressed it and it must be understood. And sometime communication is not even communicated just because I thought about something, just because I believe in something, just because I follow something, I make an assumption that everybody also believes or follows the same thing. Well, what's so difficult about it? It's because everybody's values and priorities are different. Communication is a refinement process. It's an evolutionary process. Me understanding myself and me communicating what is important to me, to the other person. There's always some sort of convincing or sales pitch. I would like you to believe in what I believe in. I would like you to agree with me, and so forth. Or I would like to have a discussion with you, or I would like to know your point of view. I am curious about your point of view. I would like to understand you. I would like you to understand me. I would like to express something to you, and just that you hear it is enough. Communication can be at many levels: one way communication, multi way communication, back and forth communication, communication ad infinitum until there is an agreement. Sometimes communication is, I would like you to agree with me, period. There is no negotiation. We will continue to communicate until you give up and agree with me. Communication is such an important, powerful, and necessary way through our life. Are words sufficient in communicating what you think and feel? And do the same words convey the same meaning to each person? How to communicate in words which are neutral in nature? And is neutrality of word essential? Or sometime emphasis or putting some masala on words to convey your point emphatically? Sometimes necessary, or it is your preference. Some people like to just get to the bottom of it. Just tell me the bottom of it. Don't beat about the bush. Don't give me the story. And some people like, tell me what happened step by step by step. For some people, when you go through the whole step, they lose interest. They're like, come on. I mean, what is it? Just give me the bottom line. And for some other people, when you just give the bottom line, you think, well, you are too terse. You're too short-circuited. So what communication is right communication? What communication is wrong communication? It's almost like the size of the shoe. We are lucky to find people where there is agreeable, enjoyable, acceptable back and forth. The idea is not that both parties should have the same type and style of communication, but that understanding and acceptance of each other's style of communication in a way that is not annoying is important. And at some level of other, heart to heart communication, depth of communication becomes not only important but necessary. In all of it, it is essential, regardless of style of communication, for me to understand myself, for me to find words that match my inner feelings or my inner thought or my inner expression or my inner desire or my inner aspiration or my goals or my desires or my desired outcome or what I'm trying to convey to the other person. It's really a lifelong process of refinement. So have fun with it. Hard, soft, sour, sweet, spicy, bland. It's a mixture of it all. And the best thing that is communicable by communication in words is I love me and I love you.